everyone. It's 11:30 at night, and we just went back from seeing Wonderful Woman in the theatre. We're going to give you our spoiler-free thoughts. I'm here with Harry and Adam. Guys, first impressions of Wonderful Woman 1932.
Well, blunderful... Oh, sorry, did I say blunderful? I meant Wonderful Woman, because this movie definitely wasn't a blunder. This movie was a step down from the first, and it bored me.
I think it was a flight of stairs down from the first.
The first one...
It was a rolling tumble down the stairs from the
We all
first.
agree, at least, that like the first one's good, right?
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
I think the first one is good, and it has good messages, it has fine action, and the third act is terrible.
Yes.
But the first 2/3 of the movie are
poorly lit
genuinely...
CGI battle.
I genuinely say...
With Master
kinda
Lupin.
great. Yeah.
Remus Lupin.
Meanwhile, this,
Let's start with the positives. The shots were in focus. That's it.
Everyone turned up to set mostly sober.
Hans Zimmer's score was,
Was that
fine.
Hans Zimmer?
Yeah.
Could you tell?
The best part...
No.
The best part of his score, though, was the beautiful life from Batman v Superman, which played when which played during the big finale.
Oh,
Where
Okay.
I didn't
where
take
Pedro
notice.
from Napoleon Dynamite fights one.
Most of the performances were fine, and people were having fun with it. Although,
I still think Gal Gadot is a terrible actress.
She was fine in the first one.
Some line deliveries are just
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if
cringe-inducing.
this is the Hayden Christensen effect of he might not be the worst actor, but the lines don't help him at all. Every line she has to deliver is
the narration at the start.
oh my god!
I was
It's
like, oh boy,
I
here
think
we
in the
go.
original she had to be kind of cold and solemn and come around to humanity, but in this one she's supposed to be this hopeful figure, and you just don't get any of that.
No.
You get this
No.
It's almost
cynical
cartoonish.
not warmongering, anti-war Wonder Woman in the first one, because there's not much to get across. But in this one, it's like, ooh,
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
exposition, dialogue dump. Oh.
So this movie had what I would commend this movie for is it wasn't just action set piece yada 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 all the time. You know what? They tried to spend a decent amount of time developing characters. However,
They spent way too much time on everything. Every scene went
The movie-
on
yeah.
forever
the movie
and
is
ever.
terribly paced. The movie's pacing problems start right from the get-go.
Oh,
Watching the opening scene, I was thinking 5 minutes into it, I don't need 5 minutes of this.
How is this
The
going to
very-
tie into the rest? It doesn't.
the very first 20 minutes of the first movie had all of her childhood stuff. So why did we have to see more of it again in this one?
Yeah,
Because it didn't even
so it's
relate
remi-
that
it-
much.
it's
It
yeah.
reminds me of a movie where at the start of the next one they just go right back to the start of the first one to just... Here we go. Amazing Spider-Man 2, where they spend the first... I'm going to... in our spoilers, I'm going to compare it a lot to Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh no.
Which is unfortunate.
Yes,
Because remember at Amazing Spider-Man 2 where they jump back to the start of the first one to fill in the blanks, and it's like...
Peter Parker's parents did this.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
and it was
right.
stupid. At least this one wasn't eye-rollingly stupid, but it was pointless. Yet somehow it was one of the better scenes in the movie.
Yeah.
What the start?
Yeah, compared to everything else.
There was a linear story, and you knew what was going on, and you were slightly interested.
Positives. Kristen Wiig, in her middle part of her transformation, she did well.
I think Kristen Wiig beginning to middle. I think it feels like an SNL sketch. It was hard for me to get out of her SNL voice where she's...
It's weird seeing her
introducing a
play this character, but she did a good job.
Pedro Pascal was fine.
He was
bit
having a lot of
too
fun.
much at some
I
points.
enjoyed.
I enjoyed
He
him.
was the only part I actually cared to watch.
I mean, having recently seen Tenet, having him as a hammy villain, I was like, okay, I'm fine with this.
It works here a lot better than it does in Tenet.
Because it's a comic book movie here,
Yeah.
so it's kind of...
I don't think Kenneth
Chris
Branagh was
Pine.
that bad.
Chris Pine was good.
Yes, he was in this movie for reasons that were important, but he was having fun.
He was there to develop Diana's character, which
Yes.
ended up falling kind of flat on its face.
Yeah.
He was more just
He's
playing for
literally
comedy.
a plot device.
Um,
I think the original does a lot better with its setting.
This one got caught up in its own spectacle. One scene, or two scenes, two big scenes that kind of felt like, wow, we're taking in these amazing visuals and isn't this big for our character? But it just felt kind of empty because we've already seen this transformation go through. Our second film, Wright, what I did like is it's meant to challenge our character. She goes through a hell of a lot more in terms of physical challenge, and I'd say mental challenge as well.
I mean, she did fight the god of war in the first
But
one.
how threatening was he in all actuality?
Not at all.
Not at all. So that's, I don't know, unless you've got anything else before we jump into spoilers.
Don't watch it if you have.
I mean,
Like, Just I wouldn't pay money to see that.
yeah.
No, I wouldn't either. Yeah, it's one of those. Like I keep with these DC movies. I keep on thinking like, are there any which if I were to ever marathon the DCEU again, which I'm never gonna do, is there gonna be any movie I don't want to sit through? And that's like 2/3 of them. Meanwhile, with Marvel, I can sit through every single one of them at least once. Even out of just a feeling of obligation, because the rest are great and all this.
Mm.
But with DC, they've given you nothing.
It's
Even
such a
with Marvel,
mess.
they lift one another up.
Yeah.
Whereas DC, and this showed it especially, I think they drag one another down.
This
Yeah,
is the
they bring each
continual
other down.
fucking over of each other's movies. This one isn't like the Justice League to Batman v Superman, where it's totally different. It's just like, it's the Captain Marvel to Avengers, to basically the MCU, where it's kind of like, we have these events which are happening and we're kind of retroactively doing it. This is nowhere near as fucking crazy as Captain Marvel. That was only just, the only thing they did was like retroactively say, oh, this is the new strongest Avenger and the most powerful person.
Yeah.
This one, we'll get into it. But thank you for watching, guys. We're going to upload another spoiler talk soon, so subscribe. We'll see you later.
Part 1!